I'm like you. I'd rather be on my farm. I'd rather be literally planting potatoes or something. I'd rather be. I've got chickens out there. I've got donkeys out there. I'd rather be on a tractor, frankly, practicing permaculture.
That's human. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, you see what I drive. You see what I wear. This is not an act. This is my ranch shirt as well. I mean, but I see you as the same way too. I see you as authentic. Behind the scenes, off the camera, you're the same guy that you portray yourself as.
Unfortunately.
Well, but people want authenticity. They don't want a bunch of fakers up there. And people are tired of the fakers, And if someone comes to my house and they look at my pantry or my kitchen, they're going to see me eating the same foods that I advise.
Well, I'll say this: you actually walk your walk. I'm still super unhealthy, but trying to get healthy. I've started to turn the ship. It takes all this stuff's awesome. Addicting. Once you get deep into this evil food,
you are doing fantastic, and your crew too. Aaron back there, he looks.
Aaron's
healthier.
lost like 50 pounds.
I see him, he looks better.
Well, pretty soon he's going to blow away, but he didn't look healthy.
Yeah. He's going to be on here like with Russian kettlebells and lifting weights pretty soon, probably. I mean, the guy.
Well, he actually listens to you and Ben Fuchs, and he actually put it into function. And I know I say 50 pounds. I mean, the guy, he was not super fat, but he was kind of like me, husky. Had a belly. It's all gone. It's and we even ordered food tonight, and he's like, well, no, I've got my own food. And he drank your, and not that our stuff wasn't healthy, it was Cabo Bob's, but I mean, he kind of drank your juicing you gave him. Yeah. And by the way, I like the fact you've got your whole trough there. You're saving that for your donkeys.
Yeah.
What's left to give them the whole office juice?
That's right. Nothing goes to waste. We made the juice for your crew, and then we take the pulp back. Going to give that to the donkeys or the chickens tonight. If I didn't have animals like that, I would compost it, right, and put it in the garden.
Those are some healthy animals, I bet.
They're really healthy, yeah. The donkeys are rescue donkeys. We rescued them. I don't want to talk about what happened to them before because it's not kind.
That sounds kind of Al-Qaeda-ish.
Yeah, I guess.
No, but so they were all locked up, not getting fed.
They had been beaten, basically. Someone had beaten these donkeys, and they were scared of humans. And it took us months before they would even approach us. And now we can be right next to them. We can pet them. We can touch them. But it's just a little microcosm of what's going on in the world.
And I love donkeys. They're such sweet creatures. Little ears.
Ours are mischievous little. I'm telling you, they move stuff around on you. So you wake up the next morning and you thought you had a bucket over there or a trough over there, and now it's 600 yards away. That's the donkeys.
What are their names?
Jackson and Jennifer.
Well, they're smart.
Yeah. Yeah, they're smart donkeys. But thanks for having me on. I really, I enjoy being here. I really support what you're doing, and we had a great segment. And
donkeys are like a watchdog. Once you get them, they'll actually run off wolves, coyotes. Yeah. They'll actually, neigh or ninny or whatever it is a donkey does. People come around.
Yeah, they do. We have coyotes out there. We've got all kinds of creatures, owls and rattlesnakes and coyotes, and of course the wild feral pigs that are out there too. I've come across groups of 30 of those at a time.
You got to blast those. Those are a feral invasive species, and they'll take over. Those eat baby deer and stuff, right?
Everybody else shoots them. Alex, I don't have the heart to shoot them, but everybody else does. And I understand the reasons for doing.
Well, they're bad. I mean, obviously a pig's one of the smartest animals out there, but the thing is, they're out of control. Yeah, it's like a scourge of locust.
Clearly. But I just can't do that. I can shoot a rattlesnake if it's attacking our chickens. That's for me. I can do that. But the pigs aren't hurting any of our animals. So if I were a cattle rancher, I'm sure I would have a different view on that.
Well, they're gonna attack your crops.
Well, we're gonna have a solar powered electric fences around our food to keep them out. Little zap reminder for those pigs.
That's not going to keep them out.
You're probably right, Alex. But
these things. These are. I mean, let me tell you, pigs are bad news.
I would only pull.
They're eating baby deer. Resort. No, I'm just saying it's an invasive. Get into real environmental stuff. They're an invasive species. There's tens of millions of them now.
They are,
and they just run around eating everything.
Totally. But I mean, that's my philosophy. Even on freedom, like I would only pull the trigger as a last resort, right? Even if it came to fighting for our freedom, front lines, really doing battle. I mean, I would never want to harm another person, even a tyrant. I wouldn't want to kill them except as a last resort. And
we're trying to avert that.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're trying to wake up as many people. Then the enemy moves with tyranny. People will know what to do. Mike Adams, naturalnews.com. Get back to your wife and farm and Jennifer and Jackson.
All right.
That's their names, right?
That's their names.
All right, and I appreciate you coming in, brother.
Thank you, Alex. Good to be here.
Good to have you. All right, we're going to go to a quick break here, and then we're going to... Max is out there with a ridiculous thing from... No, we got pig noises going. What are you guys drinking out there? All right. I'm going to hit the lavatory for a minute. We got Alfred Adask coming up. Always amazing for an hour and 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to continue with Texe Mars and others. But let's go to one of these reports that McBreen's done, or one of my reports, so I can say bye to Mike. We're going to come back with Alfred Adask. Join us via video Skype. If you want to be part of the 4th annual Money Bomb, we're not like the government with a gun to your head saying, give us money, and we're not like the government. I was trying to paint earlier, but I can't really paint. I'm going to paint some stuff for I painted some stuff for the eBay deal. There's some stuff up there, but again, if you want to donate to us, InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com, or the number, there's folks up there to take your calls. It's 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. You can either give to us to fight the globalist, or you can just have them take it away from you. Hey, I'm putting my life on the line here. I think you folks need to take action as well. And again, it doesn't mean donate to us. Make a film, start a local radio show, put out a newsletter, put out a local newspaper. Believe me, if I could do it when I was 21 years old, you can do it too. So stop thinking it's something extra special. You're Americans. You're free human beings. You can fight tyranny. Great job to the crew being part of this 27-hour transmission. Great job to all the people that have donated. And great job to all the people that are spreading the word about the free streams and everything we're doing at Infowars.com. We'll be right back with Alfred Adask. I've got good news pouring in and news coming up, and your phone calls after Alfred Adask leaves us. In fact, we'll take calls while he's on with us for the next hour and 15 minutes or so. Fox News, Santa Cruz woman fights smart meters and win. And they're really spy meters. They admit now they even scan and know what you're watching on television. That's mainstream news. These are high-tech spy grids. They've got data over power line. They're tracking us. They've built a total technocratic system of control. We're fighting it. And we're doing a 27-hour transmission here with a few breaks from my live broadcasting with other live folks like Mike Adams here for the last 2 hours. We have got Texe Mars coming up, Jim Mars coming up, Gerald Celente, great job with the crew, lining all these folks up. Now, I didn't do a pre-interview with Alfred Adask, and the last 2 interviews, he's a great guy. He's absolutely on target about the elite and their own legal filings saying we're animals and they're humans and so we deserve to be treated like this. That's the globalist eugenicist program. And then when he did the TV show with Aaron, he covered that. And it's fine if he does that preface, you know, his research. But I want to pick his brain about the larger agendas and fighting this system in the spirit of fighting, because he's such an articulate, really powerful person, powerful spirit of liberty. And he's right here hailing from up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. So many great resistance fighters against dehumanization coming from the great state of Texas. Not that people that peopled Texas were perfect, but they certainly were rebels against tyranny. You know, of course, my family goes way back to the founding of Texas. In Texas lore, so ridiculously Texan, I won't even go over it all. It sounds like a storybook. And my family goes back on both sides of the Mayflower, including the captain of the Mayflower, and Miles Standish and others. But, you know, this is what America's all about. And that's why the globalists have come here and taken it over, because this engine of liberty, not perfect, but the greatest example of liberty compared to any other country, this created great wealth and power. So the parasites came here to take it over. And Alfred Adask joins us. We'll give you his website and more. Alfred, in a nutshell, joining us via video Skype, tell us about yourself, your journey, your awakening, your basic fact on the legal filings hundreds of times you've discovered where we are described as animals. And then let's get into the nature of the New World Order, their end game, what you see happening in the world. And then we'll, coming up in about 30 minutes or so, open the phones up. In fact, I'll open them now. Here's the toll-free number for folks to line up to talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. Again, that's 877-789-2539 or 877-789-ALEX, and we'll get you up and on the air, or local calls, 512-646-1776. Alfred Adask, great to have you with us.
Hi, Alex. I thank you for that. It's a pretty flattering introduction. Probably a little more exaggeration there than it needs to be.
Total bull. I can feel your soul of liberty.
Well, that's powerful is not necessarily that word. I don't know that one applies. But I'm dedicated to what I'm doing. I've been at it for 28 years, and what started me was a divorce back in 1983, and I lost custody of my children in what I regarded as a great injustice, and that's what started me on the path. Up until then, my background was about 25 years construction work. I had a little roofing business at the point in time when this broke loose, and I became a student of the legal system. I thought I'd correct that injustice on the child custody battle. I never did. But once you got into it, it just seemed to take you, you just move and move from one thing to another, and next thing you know, I was publishing a magazine called The Anti-Shyster and doing little radio programs, and I don't know, you get into it, and what else, it becomes an obsession. You can't lay it down. It's one of these things. I know you've got the same problem, and I heard you were talking in the previous segment where you'd like to be able to kind of go out to the ranch for a while, all right, and just watch the donkeys or whatever. Pretty hard to do. Once you get into this, I don't know that you can walk away. I don't even know that you can relax. And I have the same thing. There's part of me, I would like nothing better to go out and do some surf fishing. I'd like to be living on a beach where I could just go out there, just, cast out and catch a couple of fish and the rest of that, cook them up for dinner. The idea of breaking loose from this obsession, this calling, all right? Well, it's attractive, but I don't believe I could do it. And I doubt that you can either. You can get out on that, you can get that ranch if you want to, but you'll be back, you understand, and probably not very long. I think the most recent thing, you mentioned it before, and the most important thing, I became involved in a lawsuit in 2006. I was added as the last of 7 defendants in a case that involved the manufacture and distribution of a controlled substance. The controlled substance was colloidal silver, but it's the same law that they would apply with heroin and cocaine, and it's a part of the drug laws. It was a civil prosecution by the Attorney General of the state of Texas, and they added me as a defendant. I was fiduciary for a trust. The trust was a defendant. They made me a defendant, and they're suing every defendant, including me, for $25,000 a day. That's $9 million a year. I guarantee I don't have that kind of money. And it sharpens your attention quite a bit to be sued for that, especially by the Attorney General of the state of Texas. I started reading the relevant law, and I'm a student of the Bible, and I have an understanding of the Declaration of Independence and fundamental principles, and I was just shocked. I read the law, and the definition of drugs presumes the people to be animals. And when I first saw the language, I thought, my God, these damn fools, they don't even know what they're writing. And then I saw it a second time. And then I saw it 2 more times in the federal law. First, I found it in the Texas law, then I found it in the federal law, and we found it in 23 separate laws and regulations that applied in our case. And it's abundantly clear that the government has been treating the people as animals. This is the foundation of our war on drugs. The war on drugs laid the foundation for much of the modern police state. The police state gave us the prison industrial complex. And all of this is balanced on a couple of little definitions of drugs and medical devices that presume the people to be animals. We traced this back. We found it in 5 states besides Texas and the federal law. I presume it's true in all 50 states. The earliest instance we can find of this is 1906 in the Pure Food and Drug Act. First time that we've been able to find that they first referred to the people as animals. They've been doing this for a century. You understand? This isn't a new thing.